cracked on the top. Other than that, looks pretty good. All right, let's see if that captures on the camera. Oh, a little bit lower. Yeah. So there's that crack right there. But the rest of the screen's pretty clean. So I'm guessing I'm gonna have a hard time peeling this off. So this is probably when I'll start taking out the screen. And we'll go from there. So let me see. If you look at it, it's pretty clean. So yeah, this is gonna be our project for today. Overall, let's see. Try powering it on, but it's FE version. So it does power on. Let's see if I can see any other few scratches. I mean, the screen's not that bad. It just sucks that it broke through here. Hopefully nothing else is damaged. I just gotta be careful not to let any glass fall. And overall, pretty even too, as you can see. Lays pretty flat, so it shouldn't be bent too far out of shape. That's the other concern with this. Sometimes they do bend. So that's fine, and it lays pretty flat. I'm gonna say it's pretty straight. Should be fairly easy to replace this glass. And I will take you guys along with it for the ride. I'm gonna go get some microfibers right now. I'll probably start the screen removal. I bought another one. It doesn't power on. The screen is fine on that one. Let me make sure there's no accounts here. I don't know how good these people clear these devices or not. Okay, just to give a quick explanation of what's going on, I'm getting some tools together, and I just thought of this. I'm gonna pull these once in a while. The problem is always separating the screen from the frame. So I got some Gorilla Tape, something that I just thought of today, and I'm gonna try it out. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I wanted to explain to you so you don't come later and see that it's just installed. I'm gonna go ahead and stick this here. What I was saying is the maintenance should always, oh, that might work pretty good. No, that actually might work. Just getting separation, right? So if I could heat it up this corner and kind of get a suction cup to kind of bring it out a little bit so I can start prying, that's probably gonna help me out. So for now, I'll leave it like this. I'm gonna go look for a suction cup and then I'm gonna start heating everything. But yeah. All right, since that didn't work, I cut away from it. It didn't work. I'm just gonna go to plastic blade and I'm gonna try to cut any adhesive around the edge and create a gap and see if that works here. Like I said, I'm trying to salvage this side of the screen, see if I'm able to remove it, because obviously I'm practicing for the next tablet. So wish me luck. Hopefully this one goes a little bit better. All right. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, so we have created penetration. Let's see if we can zoom that in. Great, I didn't want you to see how dirty that was, but oh well. All right, so you see we're under the screen already. So you just gotta heat it and try to kind of like just go back and forth and get your blade in there. I'm gonna try to get one of these old cards that I don't use anymore. That doesn't have bank information because I don't want to use any of those. Can't use that one. Let's see. I'll use my business card. Okay, that phone call's over with. Again, I didn't want you guys to see that, but oh well. Let me move this back so you guys can get a better view of that edge. If I can get this shit to unlock, there you go. All right, so we're under there. I'm gonna have to heat it up because that call took a little bit longer than I expected. And it actually pushed it out already. See if I can get back in there right now when I heat it up. But yeah, sometimes it's just back and forth, heating it, getting that glue to soften up and cut it. Okay, I think that's enough. There you go. There we go. Get some penetration in there. You can start moving around. So remember, slowly so we don't crack the screen. Put some more heat if you need to soften up. I mean, the screen's cracked, but I mean, this is practicing for the next one. So we're gonna put some more heat on this bottom section. That created more separation. And then I'm gonna slide it. All right, sorry about that phone call again. We're gonna heat up again. You know, work. Soft contact work, you know, you're always on the phone, so. I'll start sliding it over a little bit more. Put this in here. I'm putting wedges around here. Where's the other little tool? This is a bad idea. Do not do this. This is metal and glass. You never want to do that, but I'm just doing it as a wedge. So I have another starting point. I'm gonna heat this area up again. Let's see. Yeah, see we're getting some, it's getting hard right there. I'm moving along this way. Get the camera to focus, so. Remember, I fell as soon as I break this glass, so on this side. Obviously it's broken on that side, but I'm trying to at least get around these edges. I'm gonna hold the tablet, but it gets pretty warm too, so. Ooh. The blade popped out. I think this is shifting on me.
I hit it with light heat, not so hot this time. And then I couldn't think of what card to
use next. Hold this up. Okay, hit something right there. I did order a repair kit. Like I said, it just won't be here till. I'm not even know. We haven't been in frame for a while. Sorry, guys. It's a little. I'm gonna just go to the wide frame, and you guys can see kind of what we're doing, where we're at now. So you gotta use some persuasion because it is a little tough. The glue place was pretty good at bonding. So you gotta cut it. I'm gonna put something in that corner right now. I might end up leaving this project and continuing it another day. That's what happens when you have kids. You got activities you gotta take them to. So I'm just gonna go back again. Make sure we're cutting this pretty good. Okay, there you go. Now, I got two stuck here. Okay, so we're at the camera. So you guys home. I'm gonna jump that area and just start cutting this here. Excuse me. Okay, jumping. Ooh, actually went in front of it. Let me go back right here. There we go.
There you go. So anything cracks from this point forward, it's starting cracked. So I'm gonna say this was pretty successful to this point.
We'll go ahead and hit it with some heat.
I'm gonna turn this one sideways. Oops, I'm gonna... Alright, from this point I'm gonna start taking over the video with voiceover. So technically I need to get this corner down here loose and the top corner. Right here at the bottom corner where the blade is at right now, it's already where the crack section begins. As you can tell, that's the side that's broken. So I just gotta get around that corner, kind of loosen that corner, and then I'm gonna jump over to the other side of the corner. So technically, if you're looking in portrait orientation, I started the tablet from the top, and the USB plug it's at the bottom where the blade is at. So I will be now jumping over to the other side where all the keyboard connection ports are at the bottom. So yeah, I'll be adding some keynotes. I'm not gonna stay talking the whole time, but I'll be adding some key points and things that I wanted to mention that I might not mention during the video before. One thing to note is keep going slow. This whole video did take about 2 hours, a little bit over 2 hours. I condensed it down to 1 hour by speeding up and cutting out certain sections that were just not important. So I didn't really cut anything that was crucial. I mean, I wanted to show the whole process for you to kind of see how it is to remove one of these. And it's not hard, honestly. To be honest with you, you just need the tools and everything to kind of get it done. If I would have had the toolkit that comes with the separation blade and all that stuff, this would have been a lot easier. But I used what I had in hand. Yeah, but you can see right here, I'm heating it up, started working this other area. Those corners are hard. Those are the hard points, the corners. So you're going to need to apply some heat and keep trying going back and forth in those corners. But from here on out, I'm just going to keep heating and inserting cars to keep the separation. I went voiceover on this because at this time, my wife had arrived. So were my kids. So probably having conversations with them. They didn't want you guys to be hearing all that. But yeah, so we'll let this video keep playing out. If I need to chime in, I will again. For now, let's watch me separate the rest of this edge. Alright, at this point we're almost done. I already got over the last edge. Now I'm trying to work the last section right here. Right here's where it was broken, the glass, so I started just chipping away. And it kind of just started lifting on its own since most of the glass was already separated. This is taped down with some adhesive, so it's a strand of tape, and they probably put some silicone over it. I'll touch more on that once I'm doing the installation of the screen, but something that I kind of messed up on, and I will do differently next time. But for now, I'm just trying to get that cut. But this blade, it's plastic, so it's not really sharp. It's more for prying than anything else. But I'm trying to cut it. It's not working. I'll just end up pulling it off. At this point, literally, you could just pull it. It'll come off. But then you gotta get all the glue off and make sure you don't set it down again, because it's really sticky. It'll stick again. Now the next part I will talk is probably the ribbon part. So I'll let this play out for now. Okay, so now the only thing holding the screen in place is pretty much the ribbon cable, the main ribbon cable. So you try not to lift it too much because it's not that long and it's not too flexible. So you want to get it out. You gotta get it out and clip it before you pull it. So right here, I'm trying to get an angle at it and show you guys. I'm also having a conversation, I think, right here with my wife, so that's why you see me pause for a bit. But there's a ribbon cable. It's a hinge mechanism, so all you gotta do is just pop it open and it'll start swinging open and shut. So getting some of the stuff separated from that edge, some of the glue. Yeah, this ribbon is technically the only other thing holding the screen in place. So I think I'm just trying to get a better angle at it. Like I said, it's just a hinge, so you just gotta get a little pry tool. If you have the tweezers or something, you could probably get at it a little bit easier than me using my finger. And then there's a tape covering it, so I don't have long fingernails or anything, so uh, getting that tape off was a little bit of a hassle for me. But once you get it off, you technically just pull the hinge up and then it'll release the ribbon, as you will see in a few seconds. Right here, I'm showing you the ribbon mechanism, and now the screen. These components are gonna need to be removed. That ribbon that you see right there is the one you need to be careful with. If you're replacing the screen because it's broken, you don't really need to be careful with that ribbon. But if you're planning on reusing the same screen, yeah, you don't want to damage that one. So it's close to the edge. That's the one you have to look out for. If I'm not mistaken, it's on the camera side. I need to make sure of that. But yeah, there's a condition on the screen just showing you that nothing else broke besides what was already broken. So the screen removal was pretty successful in my opinion for what I wanted to do at the time of shooting this video, was remove it without breaking to try to see if I would be able to replicate that process on the other tablet that I was waiting on that had a no power on issue, which I will touch on later as well. That one was kind of a surprise, but for right here, I'm just gonna show you how to release the other ribbon. So this ribbon you see on the top of the screen on the panel I just removed, that goes from the main board of the screen to that little sideboard display ribbon, needs to be removed. So you'll see this is the replacement screen. This is the same, just showing you that it's the same, it plugs in. But that's what I'm trying to demonstrate here, that similar screen. So I ended up taking it apart, and then I'll touch back on this. I think this is gonna take a little bit, but I'll touch back once I see that I start doing the steps. But right here, that's the ribbon. So you need to remove that component. I don't know what it is. Connection from that screen. You're gonna need to remove it from there, pry it off, and attach it to the new screen. Then you also need to remove that ribbon from that hinge. There's a similar hinge to the other one you released for the screen. So as you can see, it's on this one. So you're gonna need to attach it at that end. And that's technically the only ribbon you need to remove. I ended up removing it on the other side as well, just to make things easier for me when I tried prying off the connector for that ribbon back there. And you'll see that shortly. If I need to chime in again, I'll chime in. But for right now, I'll let the video play out again. So I'm gonna recommend using 2 hands on this one. Get your 2 index fingers and try to pull at that ribbon. This one's a pretty hard ribbon to get out because it needs to slide out, but it's like double. It has a lot of resistance because it's like double. It's folded. I don't know how this ribbon's designed, but it's kind of folded, so it's really hard to get out. So there I was able to kind of slide it out, but I recommend it's a lot easier if you use your 2 index fingers and just pull it off from that end. And right now we're gonna start prying at the connector to try to separate it from this screen to adhere it to the other one, the new one that we're gonna be putting in. So I'll let this play out. Sorry about my hand. I know I zoomed in and it was the best angle to try to get all these connectors. So I also want to apologize because after this video, I shot another video, or at least I thought I shot another video of me connecting all these connectors back in, but I wasn't recording. So that video, that process isn't recorded, but it's pretty simple. I mean, it's just reversing the steps from this one. So you're gonna open the hinge, slide the cable in, and then close it to lock it in place. I mean, if you got to this point already, then you know that shouldn't be so hard for you to figure out. But right here, I'm gonna start prying. This plastic too is really not cutting it, so you're gonna use something pretty strong. I ended up using a little flathead screwdriver I had. It seems to be bonded with some sort of silicone or other adhesive, but it's not too hard. It's just you just needed to get it to give way, and then it separates. And after that, what I recommend is get some alcohol wipes and clean the bottom of it, and also clean the surface where you're gonna be bonding it to. I ended up using the B7000 to try to adhere that back. You'll see right now in the next video where I try to stick that to the new screen. It really wasn't cutting it. I think I needed to tape it. It did do the job, but it's not as immediate as I thought. So I didn't want to glue it because I don't know how permanent this repair would be, and if I need to replace it in the future, I didn't want it to be permanently glued on and then have to break it or something else, or look for another scrap to replace. But here I am lining it up. Luckily, the new screen has kind of like the outline of where it needs to go. So like I said, I just added a little bit of B7000 and I set it in place, and you'll see that shortly here. I'm gonna let this portion play out. It's easier. Yes, it is easier to connect the ribbon first and then put the glue. But then you do have the resistance of the ribbon, which you'll see right now was causing a few issues. Because the ribbon kind of wants to stand up. It doesn't want to be laying down. So I was having a hard time getting it to stick. So you see how it pulls it up. Yeah, so I do recommend putting that ribbon in because it's a pain in the butt to try to fold it in. It's just my recommendation to you, if I were doing this again, is to put the B7000. I think I have audio on this portion of the video. Hold on, let me shut that audio down. Yeah, so put the B7000 and then put like a little painter's tape over the connector and let it sit there for 10-15 minutes while it hardens, and that should give you enough strength for you to be able to plug in the rest of the ribbons without having a lot of motion or movement, or it popping back off, you know. So that would be my recommendation if I were to be doing it again. And this is why I filmed these videos, you know, find out these steps and maybe help you guys out. But I tried holding it in place. It wasn't really doing it either, so we'll see. I'll let this play out for now. So right here you can see that everything's plugged back in. Like I said, I forgot to record the plugging in. Right there you can see that the connector seems to be lifting again. I end up putting it down with some pressure, and it kind of bonded. Since the glue has been getting pretty tacky after 2 or 3 minutes, it starts to kind of want to harden a little. But yeah, everything's connected back. At this point, what you want to do is take it over to the tablet and test the screen. Make sure everything's functioning the way it should be, touch and everything else. So here you're gonna see me try to connect this back on, and then I'll chime in a bit again. Just let this play out. Once you get the power on, I mean, you see that the screen is working. Check for touch, stuff like that. And I'm gonna show you right now. I had to Google it because I had forgotten it. It's been a while since I've done a Samsung device. But there's a code you could enter on the phone app if you have it. I know some of these tablets don't come with it enabled. You have to update it to a certain Android version to have the phone app displayed. But this one does have it, so I'm gonna show you in case you do have that. The code you have to enter. Right now, what you're seeing here is me just trying the cameras for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm gonna let this play out because I think I continue doing this for a couple more seconds, and I'll hang out with you guys here while we get to the next video. I had to enter some data here, so I think this is why I cut away from the video. I had to like log into my Wi-Fi and stuff like that. But I'll cut this little cutscene and we'll pick it back up on the home screen, and I'll show you the code that you could enter. Yeah, see me here trying to figure it out, but I didn't remember it. So the code you have to use, obviously you have, not obviously, but you need to go to the phone app. So you need to look for it on your tablet. It's gonna be the little green icon with a telephone on it, and then you type in *#0 *#, and it opens up this test menu. So from here you can click on different colors to make sure it's displaying all the colors. You could do vibration test, camera test, touch sensor test, S Pen test. You could do a bunch of tests. They're all in there, but for me, I was just doing all the colors, making sure the vibration test, making sure all the components still worked. The cameras, both of them were still working. And then, as you notice, I set the screen in place, but there's no glue on it. I already had given like a little wipe down with some alcohol, so it's not so tacky anymore. But what is very important, and I want to say this now, is, and I will repeat it again later, is there's stickers or there's like a adhesive protection plastic layer on the inside camera and where the sensors are, the internal sensors for like brightness and stuff like that. So make sure you remove those because those parts, those components will not function properly if you don't remove those before adhering the screen. So I'll point that out later, but um, if you can see some of the sticky pads sticking out of the screen, those are stickers on the back or on the front to remove the screen protector. But some of them are in the back, and they're to protect the camera lens. The sensor is next to the camera lens, and there's one on the left-hand side right there towards where I'm scanning, that yellow one. That's another sensor. I don't know if that's the daylight sensor. I don't know what that sensor is, but it's another sensor. You also need to remove the sticker on the back side of it. So make sure you do that. For now, I'm just gonna continue watching this little test go through, and I'll chime in back in once the next portion starts. On this part, I'm just technically teaching you guys the easiest way to clean some of the adhesive that's left behind. Um, use 91% alcohol. Um, it helps remove the goo that's left behind from the double-sided tape and whatever sealant they use to hold it in place. And just give it a good rub down. And whenever you have like nice or stiff parts where the goo's just stuck on pretty good, you could rub it with the blade, a little plastic blade or something plastic. You don't want to be scratching the material. But it's very important to have a lot of that gunk or majority of it cleared out so you have a nice smooth surface to one, seal you put your new adhesive onto, or two, have the screen set properly, or else you're gonna have like little bumps and unevenness. And I think that might even contribute to maybe making it easier to break your replacement screen in the future. But for now, you're gonna see me show you what I'm doing, and then you're gonna see me do a specific area where I show how gunky it is before, and then after I wipe it down, how nice and smooth the surface is. So just pay attention and make sure that you take your time to do this step. It's gonna save you headaches in the long run, or problems with setting the display, the new display later. So I would take my time on this step and just do it. As you can see here from the videos, I'm not even applying too much pressure. I'm just kind of scraping the top, making sure getting all those gunk, stuck on gunk off, and rubbing it down with alcohol. Here we go again, just to clean it all off. And it's pretty simple, to be honest with you. It's just time consuming because, I mean, it's small areas and you try to get all of it off. But nothing too complicated. So just make sure you do this step. And it'll just make your overall repair a lot better. Okay, now to the good part. On this one, we're putting the screen back on. It's been a couple of days since I actually did the removal. This is the other tablet that supposedly didn't power on. It had no power. It had a power issue, and as you can see, I got it to turn on. I did nothing to it besides plugging it into the charger overnight, and the next morning tried to turn it on, and it turned on. I don't know. It did have some blemishes on the screen, like within the screen, some marks, some weird circles you can see on white backgrounds. Kind of like OLED burning, but it's not burning because obviously these are LCD panels. They're not OLED panels. So I think it was something that was left out in the sun, and I don't know, something warped inside. I have no idea, but it charges and it does everything good. So I did not have to take anything apart from this. So here I am a couple of days later, now installing the screen on the tablet. I did tape down the connector in the back as I recommended, and now it's holding solid. And here I am going to test it out one more time before I put it on. So I'm going to speed up through. Some of these parts are just going to be sped through just to save some time because there's some repetitive steps that I already did. So just checking all the cables, making sure everything it's in its place, and then plugging it into test. Now on the other tablet, I will tell you, I got that tablet for under $100. So sometimes you can find these deals and you just luck out. You know, it's like you take a gamble. It could be water damage, in which case you're screwed because that could be a whole motherboard or something else. You know, and sometimes you take those gambles. You know, and sometimes you win. And this one I won. I already put it up for sale for $230. I got a few offers. People shooting me 200, but still I'm gonna be making about 100 and something dollar profit. The only thing that's holding the downside on that other tablet is the blemishes on the screen. So obviously it's not a cracked screen, so it's not like needing replacement. So I'm trying to sell it as is. It's just you can see the blemishes on the light background, like when you're playing a white screen or a commercial or something in one of the videos. Like you can see some of the like circles. I don't know what it is. I don't know what to call it, but it's like a blemish within the screen. So I should have probably tried to catch it on the video, but I just thought I'd mention it. But here I am trying to plug it in, and I'm gonna go ahead and test this tablet, this screen one more time before I put it on and glue it. Yeah, so I don't know what happened on the on the previous recording, but yeah, the video started playing, looping back for some reason. But yeah, no, I'm here plugging in and testing the screen like where I left off. But yeah, talking about the other one, yeah, those blemishes, but that's about it. I'm still gonna make a good $120 profit on it. If I do replace the screen, I'd probably be able to make a little bit more, but if I can sell it like this, I'm gonna sell it. Now on this one, what I did notice, and I'm gonna go ahead and mention it here, is I ordered a panel from eBay. Um, it does look good. It's a good panel when you look at it on its own, but when comparing the next to the other OEM panel that the tablet has, you could tell that it's a bit brighter on the OEM panel. This one's a little bit dimmer. I'd say it's about 400 nits. So that is an issue out in the sunlight. But other than that, I did run some tests, and it is 120 hertz. It does support HDR 10, but like I said, at that nit level, it doesn't really matter. You won't be able to notice the difference. But like I said, for a cheap, good replacement, so there you go. That's the tab for the sensor. You can see the sensor. I'm trying to show you the sensor. I know there's like a smudge there. So there's the camera and a couple other sensors. So make sure to remove the tape off of those before you set down the screen and glue it. All right. So that's where I wanted to touch up on it again. But yeah, like I was getting back to the screen, it's not as bright, but it's a good quality screen. I mean, I tested it; it does everything pretty good. As good as the other one. It's just noticeably dimmer. I'm not sure what that is. Probably a bad panel, whatever. Well, it's not a up to par panel. Uh, so I mean, it is what it is. This tablet is not unlocked currently, so I'm gonna be keeping this tablet until I'm able to unlock it, and then I'll probably be able to sell this one. I'm already have my eyes on another one that's broken, and I'm gonna go ahead and probably see if the seller drops the price a little bit, and then go ahead and buy it and see what a new replacement panel looks like on that one. You guys are about to see one of the struggles that I had in this installation, and it's been a while since I've done a screen replacement. I want to say it's been like 3 or 4 years since I did my Y Surface Pro. Maybe less. I don't remember, to be honest with you. But I did that one. I done another 2 tablets, a Samsung Galaxy S2. And most of the time, I used to have like this roll of 2mm adhesive, double-sided adhesive, and that's all I put, and it's done a solid job, But this time, I saw people using the B7000 and how easy it was, and I was like, well, let me go that route. And you guys are about to learn how not easy that is. So I'll chime in once I start noticing my mistake, but I think I'm gonna speed through it right here, but you'll see what happens in a little bit. Right here, I'm trying to show you guys the sensors. I'm pointing at it with the lid of the glue. That's one of the sensors, and I don't know. that one's another one of the sensors. So those have like little windows on the frame of the screen, so you gotta make sure that they're exposed and you get that adhesive protection that's on them is like a piece of plastic tape that's over the hole. So make sure you get it off so it works properly. I wanted to point that out again because you'd be surprised how easy it is to forget. I almost forgot when I was doing it. So, but here I am putting the B7000 adhesive, and one thing you're gonna notice is not a lot of it is dispensing. So that was my first issue, the thing that I started noticing. But it's my first time using B7000, so I wasn't sure what to expect from it. But here I go, trying to put it, as close to the edge as possible. Try to keep the area clean, but right here we already have a little fuck up, and that's glue on my hand. The tube bursted on the top. I mean, that's what you get when you pay $5 for this thing. So I guess they don't really use adequate packaging for the material, and it bursted the seam on top. So now, as you can see, I'm starting to lose time trying to clean it off. Now I'm trying to move a little bit faster. I sped up the video, so it might look like I'm moving faster, but I'm not. It's a sped up video. You could probably tell from how twitchy and everything looks. But here I go, it's actually taking a lot longer to dispense all this adhesive. But I'm trying my best. And right now you're gonna see me get to a point where I start noticing that it's not gonna work out, and kind of frustration starts kicking in. So I start trying to speed up, and it's only bursting more out of the top seam. So it's just me cleaning off the top, and at a point it just becomes desperation, because I feel like, hey, I see what's starting to happen. I'm starting to see that a lot of it's already starting to get tacky before I'm even done putting it around the edge. So I get some with the finger and try to even smudging it in, try to speed up the process, but there's only so fast you can go with this dispensing of this bottle. So I tried my best. I think I got it done. I wanted to tack it down, and then I noticed that a lot of it is already dry. It's not even gonna glue anymore. So I just capped it, and I was like thinking about it for a second or two. Keep touching it, it's all dry. So I just said, fuck it, I'm taking it all off and restarting. So that's what I ended up doing. I ended up rubbing it all off with alcohol wipes, taking most of it off. So I'm redoing technically the cleaning process that I did when I removed the initial screen, and I just had to redo it. I mean, sometimes these things happen. You have to learn from your mistakes. And on this case, this B7000 glue dries very fast, so you have to dispense it and get it all around the frame within, I want to say, a minute, maybe a minute and 30 seconds. If you're over 2 or 3 minutes, it's already going to start tacking up. So you can't really take your time with it. From what I felt I learned from this is, I learned two things. One, B7000 should be used, but I think in conjunction with double-sided tape. So if you use both of them together, say you have like those corners or those hot spots where your hard spots where you can't really get the double-sided tape to stick very well, you could add some B7000 there adhesive, or you could do like a light trail around the double-sided tape, and that'll help it bond and seal. The second thing I learned, and that kind of was discovered a little bit later, is, here, let me talk about this. This is E6000. I know I didn't really show it, but it's E6000 is like a silicone clear. I had that in hand because I fixed some foam boards and I just needed it to stay flexible. So this material stays pretty flexible, but it also holds. So I said, why not try it on the screen? It should work. So I gave it a try. I don't know. I mean, this is my experiment. It should bond and dry, and if I need to take it off in the future, it's like silicone, so it should come off. So here I am putting the screen back together, setting it off. But E6000 is what I used, and it's also a clear adhesive, which touches to the point that I was getting into right before this. Is there's a T7000, and that one is a black adhesive. The same way there's an E6000 that's black. I think in the future I will use E6000 that's black or the T7000, just because this is an LCD panel. So when I first glued it on, before I pressed it down, you can see a lot of the light bleed around the edge. Once I tacked it on correctly, I couldn't see it, but I think if I would have used the black adhesive, it would block a lot of that light coming through. And if I were to have like a seam that didn't seal properly, obviously I did a pretty good job at cleaning, so it did set in well into the frame, so you can't really tell any light bleed. But I did notice it initially when I set it down right now, and I did like I turned the screen on. I was able to see a little bit of the light bleed. I didn't really show it on camera because I was able to press it down and get it to go away. But yeah, it is an issue. So when doing these screens that are LCD, there's my son asking me to give him the password to a tablet. So there, I give it to him. He takes off. Whenever doing one of these in the future, I think I will be using the black adhesive to make sure to mitigate any light that might leak out through the edge, and two, I might actually use it with double-sided tape. So I'll set some double-sided tape and then maybe a lighter bead of E6000 or T7000 to help seal that and make a more permanent bond. It might be overkill, but I think it's worth it. So here I am. Just put pressure. Make sure you put pressure evenly on the screen once you have it adhered on. I would turn it around one more time to get any of the excess glue off if it's coming out through the edge. Clean it off, and then yeah, just try the screen one more time. Once you get it all glued on, make sure everything's functioning before it sets. And yeah, so there I am, just testing all the touch and stuff. So yeah, that's it. You know, once you got all this tested out, I would just put some weight on it, leave it overnight, and let it cure the rest of the night. And that's it. That's all the screen replacement is. It's not too complicated. Don't be afraid to handle it. I mean, I did it with not even the correct tools, so I'm pretty sure if you guys have the tools and the patience to do it, you guys can do it too and save some money. So yeah, that's all I do this stuff. You know, show you guys ways you can save money. Sometimes you can pick up these tablets for 120, 130, and you know they're very useful, and you can fix them for about $70, $80. You know. So yeah, hope this helps somebody out. I know it's a long video. I try to reduce it as best as possible, but I think it's it goes in very detail into everything you need to do. So alright guys, I'll leave you guys up to here, just adding the weight, and that's it. I gotta wait till the next day. Alright guys, till next time.